Such an honor to greet the Parliament of World Religions.
Hello, and thank you so much for allowing me to join you by means of this video. I wish I could be there in person.
I'm Jim Yong Kim, President of the World Bank Group. I'm honored to have the opportunity to talk with you about a sacred, shared pursuit.
Dear respected members or delegation of World Parliament of Religion.
See, these are the problems, what we call our global problems that we want to resolve.
Welcome on behalf of the board of the Parliament of the World's Religions, with love in my heart and compassion in my mind and a smile on our faces, to reclaim the heart of our humanity, I declare the 6th Parliament of the World's Religion open.
So we always have a meaningful entertainment also from all different countries.
That you give them sincerity.
What if this kind of gathering could get to the heart of the questions we must address?
Therefore, we, your grandmothers, your mothers, your daughters, your wives and sisters, call upon our grandfathers,
This Phyllis
our fathers,
has
our
arranged all women's empowerment programs and women's violence programs and everything. She was in charge of women's wing.
women and girls.
Stop living yesterday.
Let us pledge to live
This Rob Sellers, he is the current chief of the trustees, chairman of the board of trustees.
Demonstrate that people of multiple spiritual paths can indeed live as neighbors, can link our lives to address the common problems that confront the human family.
We have many programs for indigenous people, American Indians, and they really have a lot of things to offer which I never could imagine. Now the next is a small video clip when we decided to select the Toronto city, and there was a small reception. So this is from the next video is from the Salt Lake City, just a little celebration of selection of the city. This is the repeat, I think. This is the same one. You have to put 2018.
One of the world's religions, I'd like to welcome you to today's event launch. It is a pleasure to welcome such distinguished leaders as yourselves to the traditional and treaty lands of the Mississauga of the Anishinaabe.
I'm delighted to be here today with you to make an announcement that will bring even more recognition to the City of Toronto, the Province of Ontario, and this great nation.
It is with great pleasure that the Site Selection Committee has recommended to our board that Toronto, Ontario, Canada be designated as the next
These
host
two
city
people were
for the
main
Parliament of the World's
persons to
Religions.
select Toronto as a, of course we all have a contribution, but they went, and this is our executive director, Larry Greenfield.
For the common good of all peoples and for the good of the earth. Thank you, Toronto. Thank you, Ontario. Thank you, Canada, for being the site and the partners for this kind of global transformation.
What a great announcement this is today. It is something that is so fitting, and I think it is. I always make sure to say that does not mean we achieve perfection, because we have a lack of inclusion in a number of different respects that we have to continue to address, but it is the most diverse city in the world, and that you have here people of all different nationalities, all different faiths, and that they get along here. They celebrate their differences. They know it's one, all for one and one for all.
I do believe that Toronto has an important story to tell about how religious communities can work together and live together in the spirit not only of tolerance, but a high level of cooperation in the city building.
Since the last Parliament, where I spoke to a room of 10,000 people, our work continues on issues such as climate change, income inequality, and standing with Indigenous peoples. It is my full hope that the next Parliament will use these challenges as opportunities to bring a wealth of extraordinary healing and power for individuals like myself.
We're proud, we're happy, we're excited about the fact that this great gathering, this great global gathering is going to happen here in the city of Toronto, and without being presumptuous, I can think of no more appropriate place for it to be held, and I know we're up to it, and I know that everybody will come away, us and all the people who come from somewhere else, enriched by the experience and more committed than ever. So thank you very much for having the confidence in Toronto. We'll show everybody a good and productive time here, and we appreciate very much the confidence you've placed in us. Thank you.
Okay, now let's see the first one, number one. Number one. Now I'm just going to show you registration form and the card and some information, and I will have this with Swamiji, because we didn't get a chance to print it out. I sent it, but they could not download. So we don't have a printed postcards or printed forms, but that can be done later. And what we are going to expect from you is that those who are interested can write down their name, telephone number, and email address. And somebody will send you email with all the information. And you can register online, because the payment, if I take it today, it is very hard because of the FCRA, that we cannot take the cash or checks from here to there. So you will have to pay online by credit card or debit card. But those who wants to just know what are the information we are asking, will have it in the registration form. Now this is our general flyer, which is quite informative, that we are expecting more than 10,000 people, hopefully 12,000 people, and all different spiritual traditions, 80 plus nations, and the reason for why we are doing the connecting humanity, all different people from different parts of the world, to protect the our planet, because if you know this, with the climate changes, there are a lot of problems. I know I don't have to narrate, all of you must be knowing it, but water problem, temperature is getting very high, there are droughts, there are malnutrition, immigration problem, what happened recently, that the separations of children from the parents, all these are the global issues, and how to resolve. That is what we are going to discuss over there. And could you just raise this a little bit? At the bottom, if you can see, all our different task force, the climate action, then indigenous peoples program, because there are many groups of indigenous people, American Indians here in different parts of our country. They feel they are very much neglected or lot of injustice. I cannot go into details right now, but that our task force takes care of that. Then women's dignity. All over the world, we know that somehow or other, many women are suppressed and they suffer quite a bit. There are some traditions in many religions, and to come over that, we want to discuss how it can be done. And Hindu religion, we have talked quite a bit about dignity of women. And if you go into details, most of the religions will talk about dignity of women, but in practice, many women dignity are not protected. And that is what we in Women's Dignity Task Force, we take care of it. And there are many programs to prevent violence in women. And that will be very interesting if any women delegate wants to come over there. Then countering the hate and violence. That task force is for hate, violence and war, and how to counter that. And I remember we were discussing what kind of subjects we should have in this and what kind of speakers. So I just got an idea. I said, I would like to hear about non-violence and war. And I said, I have a good speaker for that. And I'm glad to announce that Shilapiji, Sadhvi Shilapiji is one of the speakers for non-violence and war, and she is already accepted. The next generation. We talk about young people just paying attention only in the phone. They don't do this, they don't listen to the parents, they don't listen to the teachers. But why? Why they do this? And Thakur used to say that if you want somebody's attraction from a wrong side, you give them something else, something good. Then only they will come out of that wrong direction. And for that, we have a next generation task force. And to my utter surprise, there are many, many young people, they are interested. They want to take participation into that. And there are many programs for the young generation. And now we are planning some programs for even children, young children. And there will be a facility where parents can leave their children and somebody will be there to take care of it while they are attending the meeting. And that is next generation. Then there is a justice, that in all walks of life we sometimes feel this is not right, this is injustice. I don't have to enumerate, but even in college, schools, sometimes to protect the to give admission, there is so many things, discussion goes on, and those kind of injustice in many different fields, that is taken care of by that task force. And there is one more. We are with United Nations. We do many projects with United Nations also, in collaboration with the United Nations. And that is one more task force. And if you see, at the bottom, we have about 8 speakers. We have selected many more, about 25 to 30 are already selected. Their assemblies are in the morning, and plenary sessions are in the evening, and in the afternoon are the breakout sessions, where there are smaller rooms. But the assembly and plenary sessions, at that time there won't be anything else. So most of the people will come, and we are hoping out of 10,000 or 12,000, maybe 8 to 9,000 will be there. So we are trying to get very good, knowledgeable, good speakers, and we were hoping that we would get at least 60 to 70, and at this time we have 3,000 nominations. So it is very hard to choose. And in afternoon, we were supposed to have 550 programs, and we have 1,550 applications. So what we did, we selected about 500, and then we combined 2 to 3 in one program and see if they can work together. So right now we are under process of making the last final program ready, but it's still way away from the final situation. Now, go down a little bit. Down, no, down. I want to see the upper part. See right here, when you get this card, here it says that save $100 for registration now, and there is a code which is SHA 2018. So those who have seen SHA, that is Bhadra Shah, and listen to us in this meeting can get $100 discount in the registration for the form. So the next one. Okay, now keep going. Yeah, this is same thing, but we have exhibits. Right now we are closed now for the programs or plenary speakers or assembly speakers, but we still have about 120 booths available. So what are those booths and exhibits? I'll show you the location and then you will understand better, but keep going down now. Keep going, keep going. Okay, next. Okay, this is the Toronto Center, Exhibition Center, and this is the main entrance. Keep going. Yeah, move that side, right. Keep moving, okay. See, this is the way this building is inside, and the third level is the street level. Go up, that 500 you can see, that is what the street level. So 3 levels goes down, and this is just like a miniature way to show you. And the downstairs is the big rooms, and depending on how many people come, we can increase the size of the room, and it's very fun to even see this place. So this is the convention center in Toronto downtown, where from November 1 to November 7, all the programs will be here. Okay, keep going. So these are just the details, and you can see the inside of some of the rooms. I don't have time because I was told that in 10 minutes I'm supposed to finish. But if anybody is interested, if you go on Parliament of the World's Religions.org, you can find most of the information, and also the registration, you can do it directly. But even though if you don't go online directly, you can just put that code. It will ask for the promotion code. At that time, if you write SHA 2018, then you will get the discount. Keep going now. I think it's part of it was in this side. So, see, these are the nice, this is the gallery, and in the gallery also we have planned for sponsorship. Like when you are walking around, if you look around, that's the time people can see if you have an advertisement, or if you did some sponsorship, we will have all the information. It's like a sort of advertisement for the person who spends the money. Because with this such a huge program, I think there is a lot of expenses, so we are going to make use of each corner of that building, and there are pillars. So on the pillars also there will be advertisements. Okay, keep going, move that fast. Okay, keep going. Yeah, these are just the different information about how big those rooms are, because out of 550, there are some programs which only one person will be speaking and maybe only 20% will attend. So that room will be very small. While there will be some programs, like I have one program which is happiness, health, justice, and something by Vedanta way. And I have invited all very known sadhus from Ramakrishna mission, and one of them is Swami Nikhileshwaranandji, and you may be knowing Swami Sarvasthananji. He is coming also from UK, and Swami Tyaganandji is coming from Boston, and Swami Sarvapriyanandji, who is a very good speaker, and his name is Sarvapriyananda, and it is very true that he is Priya to Sarva. So he is also coming. So when you are expecting this kind of people to discuss that kind of subject, there may be more people. So the rooms are all different sizes, different corners, like that. Okay, keep going. Okay, just keep going this. Or maybe go on the next one. Okay, go down. Yeah. Okay, this is the highlight of our organization at the largest global interfaith gathering. And in this, you can go online and you can find this also, but how to share your information, sign up as a member, sell and market, all different kinds of things for sponsorship or getting the brochure, booth. All the information is there. Keep going down. Yeah, keep going. I think we'll have to just finish. Yeah, and see, hold on. At some places, there are, we call it open space. So on the corridor, or there is some place where there is some open space, we are going to make a use of it too. And we have people, some are going to present their arts, some are going to present the dances, some may be singing. So all that will be in a, and there are other programs also which can be done in an open space. So you will be able to see even Gujarati, Indian, South, Kathak, and all kinds of dances will be there too. Keep going now. Yeah, now just keep going. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, here, go down. Marketing opportunities, and yeah, see, Parliament of are highly educated. This is like almost 2 months old statistics, but people who are attending the meetings, they have found out how many of them are educated, how many of them are that, what kind of education they have. All statistics are there, and high net worth people are there. Keep going. Right. So this is all just the statistics. Keep going. I wanted to show you that these are all the sponsors. And here, history of the Parliament, that the first Parliament was in 1893, and Christopher Columbus, he discovered America, and Columbian Exposition was celebrating 400th anniversary of discovery of America, and there few people got together from different religions and different philosophical traditions, and they thought that I think we should really sit together and discuss some common issues, global issues, and find some solution. And that is where the Parliament of World Religion was born. And Swami Vivekananda, right now we are thinking about paying $400 for the registration and how to go in this. Now we have so much facilities. Swamiji came from here. It's worth reading. I think it's, you feel I don't have a words to express, but every time I read about how Swamiji decided to go to America for this parliament, how he got the money, then when he came there, how he suffered in the cold, and how he got the nomination to go to parliament. And then, once his turn comes, first time he got up and says, I'm not ready now. He sat down, some other people went. His turn came again, and he says, I'm not ready now. So something he was feeling, or something was pushing him down. And suddenly, Thakur appears, and he holds his hand, pulls him to the pulpit, and he started talking. First he says, sisters and brothers of America. And there was 3 minutes applause, continuous applause. And then he became very, very, very famous. And as I said in the morning, I think we are celebrating what Swamiji wanted to do. Every minute when he was in America, whatever he sees, he used to remember his Bharatiya people who are suffering. And he says, if, sleeping in a good bed, he was unable to do it because his heart was crying for poor people in India, how they suffer. And I really feel that if all of us decide something, that we want to make something special at 125th anniversary of Swami Vivekanandaji's speech, where he became so famous, and let us do something. So we Indians become very famous, and we can do something, not just becoming famous on the paper. Famous in the sense that we learn something, we do something, so that we make some real change in our country, real change in our people. When I went to America, only reason was I was from a very poor family. I didn't have money, I became doctor, but I was of no use to India because we need a lot of money to start the private practice. So I really feel that we do something, get rid of this corruption and find something so even all poor students can find their way right here in India. Okay, keep going. These are all the little glimpses of 1993, then 1999, and 2004, 9 and 15, all little glimpses. And then there is, go down, keep going down, we don't have to, okay. I think there is one place where it shows exactly the size of the booths. And I really feel that if any religious organization or even corporation or somebody who wants to get their work or whatever exposed to 10 to 12,000 people, it is worth it. It's only $1,250 per booth, and with the carpet it is $1,750. But if somebody tells me maybe I can do a lot better, I am a chairperson of the development committee, and seeing your interest, maybe we will be able to do something. And my number will be with Swami Nikileshwaranandji. If anybody wants any information, he will have my email, telephone number, because right now I'm running. So I may not be making the things very clear. But thank you very much for listening.
Many thanks to Dr. Bhadraben Shah, the trustee of the World's Parliament of Religions that is to be held in Toronto. We'll start with the second session of today's seminar, and the topic is Role of Education and Media in Interfaith Harmony. I humbly request Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj to kindly accompany the chairperson of the session, Professor J.S. Rajkot, who is the ex-director of NCR New Delhi. Here, he is a Padma Shri awardee and also an executive member of UNESCO. Accompanying Swami Gautamanandaji are also Dr. Jay Shah, Ambassador Parliament of the World's Religions, Barodara, and Dr. Ajay Umat, the Chief Editor of Nav Gujarat Samay, Ahmedabad. I'll request all the delegates to welcome our dignitaries on the dais by a round of applause. The topic of this session is Role of Education and Media in Interfaith Harmony. We'll start the session now with an opening song by Brahmachari Mainak Maharaj, a monastic member of the Ashrama, Shri Ramakrishna Ashrama Rajkot. We'll just take a little time to organize it with the musical instruments.
को कहाँ ढूंढे रे वंदे झगड़े बिगड़ी में, ना छोरी गरास में, ना रहूं मैं झगड़े बिगड़ी में, ना छोरी गरास में, ना रहूं मैं खाल रोम में, ना रहूं मैं खाल रोम में, ना हड्डी ना मांस में, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ। ना देवल में, ना मस्जिद में, ना काशी कैलास में, ना देवल में, ना मस्जिद में, ना काशी कैलास में, नहीं रहूं मैं अवध द्वार का, नहीं रहूं मैं अवध द्वार का, मेरी भेंट विश्वास में, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ। नहीं रहूं मैं क्रिया कर्म में, नहीं रहूं मैं क्रिया कर्म में, ना विराग संन्यास में, नहीं रहूं मैं क्रिया कर्म में, ना विराग संन्यास में, खोजोगे तो अभी मिलूंगा, खोजोगे तो अभी मिलूंगा, पल भर की तलाश में, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे शहर से बाहर डेरा हमारा, शहर से बाहर डेरा हमारा, कुटिया मेरी मोयास में, शहर से बाहर डेरा हमारा, कुटिया मेरी मोवास में, कहत कबीरा सुनो भई साधो, कहत कबीरा भई साधो सब सांसों की सांस में मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास हूँ।
We all heard to the song by Brahmachari Maynath Maharaj, a monastic member of Shri Ramakrishna Ashrama Rajkot. The topic of this session is Role of Education and Media in Interfaith Harmony, and the chairperson is Professor J.S. Rajput, ex-director NCERT New Delhi. We also have Dr. Jayesh Shah, Ambassador, Parliament of the World's Religions, Vadodara, as a speaker, and Dr. Ajay Umat, the Chief Editor of Nav Gujarat Samay Ahmedabad, as another speaker. I humbly request Revered Swami Nikileshwaranandaji Maharaj to kindly welcome the dignitaries on the dais and introduce them to our delegates. Revered Swami Nikileshwaranandaji Maharaj.
Om Namah Shriyatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Dear Dr. Professor J.S. Rajput ji, Dr. Jayesh Shah ji, Sri Ajay Umat, respected other monks present here, dear sisters and brothers, we are now going to have another very, very important session. You have been very cooperative, and just now we were discussing among ourselves that normally what happens after lunch, the audience is 50%. But here what we find is audience 100%. That is a great tribute to the audience. And also to the speakers who have made it so interesting that they are still continuing. So this is we are very happy that in this session is being chaired by Professor J.S. Rajput, who doesn't know him. Hardly anyone who from the education field may be not knowing him. He had been involved in so many educational projects. He has been awarded specially by the UNESCO, and he was the director of NCERT and so many other important positions that he has held. Hardly there is any other commission on education where he is not being represented or he is not being consulted even at the top level in the country. So very difficult to get him. We wanted him for the last seminar. That is, you must be remembered, we had published his name also for the seminar on Indian culture and philosophy, but the last moment he could not come, so we were a little disappointed. But he has made it up to this time by coming here and is very much with us, and so we gave a very, very warm welcome to Sri Rajput ji, and we will have his expert advice and his expert comments on this topic, very important topic, that is the role of education and media in bringing about this interfaith harmony. We have also Dr. Jayesh Shah, you have heard him in the morning session. He is the ambassador of the Parliament of Religions. But the second aspect I did not tell about him is that every other day he is in the channels trying to have some sort of discussions with somebody or other. Any type of any problem, current issue, Dr. Jayasha is invited to give his comments, and he will be always there on discussion. So I think he is much more with the media, particularly electronic media. He is so much conversant that we thought he should speak on the role of electronic media for bringing about interfaith harmony. And he is already there. He is trying his best, being the ambassador of the Parliament Religious. There could not be a better person for the role of media in interfaith harmony. We are also very nice, very fortunate that Ajay Bhai Umat is there with us. He is a long friend of ours. When in Ramakrishna Mission, in Baroda also he came. That time he was in Times of India. He has been with so many newspapers. He has been a very, very live wire in the media industry. So many places he was connected with. He was in the delegation with the Prime Minister of India. He visited many countries for that. So he is also remaining very busy. But we are very happy. I was little afraid about half an hour back whether he will really come or not. But he is here. He has come because naturally he remains very busy being a media person. So he is at present the chief editor of Now Gujarat Samay. As you know, that is a Gujarati edition of the Times of India. So we are very happy. All the three experts are with us and they are going to give their expert opinion. And the topic is also very, very important. As I told you, the role of education and media in interfaith harmony. You might remember there had been some disturbing phenomena in the past. If you go deep into the problem, you will find that some point or the other, the role of media was negative. In some other instances, you find the role of media was positive. Whenever the media has played a positive role, there has been more of harmony and peace in the society, and also interfaith harmony. So media plays an important part, you can very well understand, whether it is electronic media or a print media. As far as education is concerned, education play a very important part. Mind you, the persons, those who are going for atrocities on various occasions, why are they going? Because they have been doctrinated like that. Indoctrinated wrongly. They have been brainwashed. So what I say, let us have another brainwashing, positive brainwashing. Before other people brainwash them, let us brainwash the children right from the childhood about interfaith harmony so that no other persons afterwards can brainwash them and then result in this one. Let us brainwash them when they are children. If we can we can teach the children about interfaith harmony, the result will be entirely different. A student of 6th standard was sitting in the classroom and his history teacher told him the details that all these Jews have done so much of atrocities in us. He made up his mind that he will take revenge from the Jews the way his teacher had told him, the way he was told, the way he was given education was to take revenge from the Jews. Later on he took revenge. Millions of Jews were put into the gas chamber. His name, everybody of you know, Hitler is the name of that boy. Hitler. He did so many things. Why? Because he was given that type of education when he was in the 6th standard. Conversely, if proper education is given to the children, they can be the ambassadors of interfaith harmony. So this is a very important topic, and I'm sure we are going to have very important discussions from these three great scholars. Thank you.
Now we'll felicitate the dignitaries on the dais. I'd request Swami Gunashrayanandaji, Secretary Ramakrishna Mission Limdi, to kindly come up on the stage and honor Professor J.S. Rajput by presenting a flower bouquet. I'll also request Swami Nikhileshwaranandaji to present the memento to Professor J.S. Rajput and welcome and honor him. I'd request Swami Raghuviranandaji, a monk of Sri Ramakrishna Ashrama Rajkot, to kindly come up on the stage and present a flower bouquet to Dr. Ajay Umat and honor him. Also would request Swami Nikhileshwaranandaji to present the memento to Shri Ajay Umat. Would request Swami Dharmapalanandaji from our Ashrama Ramakrishna Mission in Lucknow, who was previously in Sri Ramakrishna Ashrama Rajkot, to present a flower bouquet to Dr. Jay Shah. No, I don't think. And would also request Swami Nikhileshwaranandaji to present a memento. As shared by Swami Nikhileshwaranandaji, it is really a matter of great wonder and also very encouraging for us, the organizers of this seminar, to see such a large number of the delegates being here and listening so attentively to our speakers. I would request Dr. Jay Shah, Ambassador Parliament of the World's Religions, Vadodara, to kindly deliver his speech. Dr. Jay Shah.
Revered Swami Nikhileshwaranandaji, Professor Rajput Sahib, Ajay Bhai. Thank God now I don't have to follow any protocol as in the first inaugural session. So I am going to start reciting one stotra and then we will have a Jai Ghosh and then I will start my comments. Yada yada hi mobilasya glanirbhavati signalaha out of reach suchanena tvarita jagruta samshayaha vichcheditam samparkaha kalaham matra bhavishyati tasmat chargingam evam rechargingam kurvantu tava sattvaram मनसोक्तम चैटिंगम हास्य विनोदन टेक्स्टिंगम सत्वर फॉरवर्डिंगम अखंडित सेवा प्रार्थयामि. टच स्क्रीनम नमस्तुभ्यम अंगुली स्पर्शम क्षमस्व मे प्रसन्नाय इष्टमित्राणाम अहोरात्र मैसेजम करिष्ये. इति श्री हसमुखात्मज जयेश विरचित मोबाइल स्तोत्रम समाप्तम. बोलो मोबाइल महाराज की. अरे जयनाथ करे भी छे. बोलो व्हाट्सएप देव की. डीटीएच महाराज की. Why I had delivered this stotra and this Jai Ghosh? This is the effect of electronic media and social media. Swamiji, I want to add social media also, because now social media is much more important than the electronic media. Social media is playing much more role than the electronic media. आप लोगों में से कई लोगों ने एक वीडियो क्लिपिंग देखा होगा. एक 12-14 साल की लड़की थी. एक बड़े स्वामी जी थे. thousands of devotees थे. She was asking like, ईश्वर क्या छे, कहाँ है, ये आप शिव जी पर दूध क्यों चढ़ाते हो, आप ये इतना वेस्ट क्यों करते हो, ये उसको गरीबों को क्यों नहीं देते हो, समथिंग लाइक दैट. आई एम नॉट नरेटिंग द एग्जैक्ट वर्जन, लेकिन आपने शायद उस वीडियो में देखा होगा तो हाउ शी हैड बीन ट्रीटेड बाय द स्वामी. अल्टीमेटली शी हैड टू सरेंडर दैट नहीं दूध चढ़ाने से ये होता है, ये पुण्य मिलेगा, ये मिलेगा, वो फल मिलेगा. ये वीडियो शायद करोड़ की संख्या में लोगों ने देखा. दूसरी एक बात बताऊं, देयर वाज वन वीडियो I had received, I think, 10th or 12th time in last 6 months. on the population growth of Muslims and population growth of Hindu. I will definitely come to the point of interfaith harmony through these examples. One of the Hindu saint is speaking on the video that the birth rate of Muslim is 8.56 and the birth rate of Hindu is 1.8. The figures are absolutely wrong, absolutely incorrect. But nobody had dared, not even the print media or electronic media, to criticize the such videos. The actual birth rate of Muslim is on a downward trend in India. The birth rate in last decade down from 5.7 to 3.2, and Hindu birth rate is also down. But compared to the Hindu birth rate, Muslim birth rate is dropping much faster rate than the Hindu birth rate. So this type of videos create uproar among that. Many intellectuals of a senior advocate level asked me, जयेश भाई ये बताइए ये क्या है सच, 20-25 साल में तो हिंदुस्तान में मुस्लिम की मेजॉरिटी हो जाएगी. भाई कैसे हो जाएगी? पॉपुलेशन रिसर्च सेंटर जो इंटरनेशनल सेंटर है, जो पॉपुलेशन रिलीजन की पॉपुलेशन की स्टडी का रिसर्च करते हैं, बाय 2071, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 2071, then also there will be a difference of at least 80 crore between Hindu and Muslims. So such type of video create uproar, create tension, create stress among the Hindu and Muslim community. So my point is the role what social media is playing, the electronic media is playing. If I come to the example of the electronic media, during the Bombay bomb blast, I think the whole operation had been shown live. In one of the Kashmir operations shown live. Is it fair to show it live? I don't think so. This is what my point is, whether it is electronic media or social media. और आजकल तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया से सोशल मीडिया ने ज़्यादा हालत ख़राब कर दी है. डेली शायद हर एक के मोबाइल में 8 या 10 वीडियो या 8 या 10 मैसेज ऐसे आते होंगे कि जो हार्मनी जनरेट करने के बजाय टेंशन क्रिएट करते हैं. चाहे वो कास्ट के बीच में हो, चाहे वो रिलीजन के बीच में हो, चाहे या कोई भी रीत का तरह से हो, लेकिन वो अननेसेसरी टेंशन क्रिएट करता है. तो ये सोशल मीडिया का पॉजिटिव यूज़ नहीं हो रहा है. सोशल मीडिया या हो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया हो. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया की बात करें तो मैं आई डोंट वांट टू गो ओनली इनटू द न्यूज़ चैनल्स. जो कलर प्लस और स्टार प्लस में और स्टार गोल्ड में जो सीरियल्स आती है ना, आई थिंक दैट ऑल्सो प्लेइंग ए बिग रोल इन जनरेटिंग वायोलेंस. अभी मैं कल या परसों एक अखबार में पहले पेज पे ऐड थी, कत्ल की रात, कयामत की रात, शायद समथिंग लाइक दैट, कयामत की रात, और एक पंजा बताया, एक पंजा दिखाया था, कयामत की रात. कयामत की रात का टीवी में, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया में उसकी एडवर्टाइजमेंट कंटिन्यूस चल रही थी. तो मैं इसलिए उसको कोरिलेट कर रहा हूं कि जिस दिन ये एडवर्टाइजमेंट आई थी उसी दिन बड़ौदा में भारती स्कूल में 9th स्टैंडर्ड के स्टूडेंट की हत्या की गई 10th स्टैंडर्ड के स्टूडेंट के द्वारा. तो ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया ने उसको इतनी ऐसी बुरी तरह से दिखाया. आई थिंक मैंने 2 या 3 इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया को फोन भी किया था. दिस इज नॉट द राइट वे टू शो द वायोलेंस, दिस इज नॉट द राइट वे टू शो द मर्डर. कैसे किया, 31 जो उसको लगाए थे उसमें एक कहाँ लगा, दूसरा कहाँ लगा, तीसरा कहाँ लगा, कौन सा चाकू का उपयोग किया गया, कौन सी छरी का उपयोग किया गया, मूठ को कैसे किया गया, उसकी पिक्चर्स भी पब्लिश हुई प्रिंट मीडिया में. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया ने तो वीडियो दिखाया, प्रिंट में न्यूज़ तस्वीर दिखाई, और वही मैटर सोशल मीडिया में चली. लेकिन किसी ने उस एंगल से नहीं बताया कि वाई देयर इज सो मच वायलेंस एमंग द चिल्ड्रन. एक्चुअली द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया का रोल ये होना चाहिए था कि ये 9th स्टैंडर्ड का स्टूडेंट का हत्या हुआ. दिस वॉज द सेकंड इंसिडेंस आफ्टर वन इंसिडेंस इन दिल्ली. वाई दिस इज ऑन राइज? वाई? I want the answer of this Y factor from the electronic media, from the social media. Nobody had done that. So, electronic media and social media can play a very vital role in generating harmony. Swami had correctly said that when electronic media turns positive, automatically the vibrations become positive. And as good as it becomes negative, vibrations become negative. I had observed that. If you observe during the riots, or even not during riots, even the small communal incidents, a small communal incidents in one area, and the media make it in such a hype that there is a big communal tension in the whole city, and like that. I am experiencing in Baroda since last 1 week. The way it has been shown, it should be shown in a positive way. So that is the negative role played by them. Actually एक दूसरों को नज़दीक लाने के बजाय एक दूसरे को दूर ले जा रहे हैं. मैं एक सैटायर टोन में करूं तो एक ही परिवार में अगर एक दो बच्चे एक रूम में बैठा है, मतलब बच्ची एक रूम में बैठी है, माता पिता एक रूम में बैठे हैं, तभी भी टेक्सिंग से रिप्लाई देते हैं. किचन से माँ व्हाट्सअप करती है या टेक्स्ट मैसेज करती है कि बेटी चलो खाना खाने आओ, बच्चा चलो खाना खाने आओ. ये हालत हो चुकी है. तो ये एक दूसरे को नज़दीक लाने के बजाय एक दूसरे को दूर ले जा रहे हैं. तो ऐसे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया और सोशल मीडिया में क्या करना है? जो टीवी सीरियल्स कलर प्लस पर आती है, जो टीवी सीरियल्स, मैं कोई पर्टिकुलर जो नाम बोलता हूँ उसका मतलब नहीं कि वही 2 चैनल खराब है. आई एम जस्ट रिफरिंग दिस एज इट इज़ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर, सो दैट एवरी, ऐसे मैं जैसे कयामत की रात बोला, पूरे ऑडियंस ने आवाज़ दे दिया कयामत की रात. तो ये पॉपुलर चैनल में जो प्राइम टाइम में सीरियल दिखाई जाती है, आई थिंक उसकी सोशियोलॉजिकल स्टडी होनी चाहिए, उसके ऊपर सोशियोलॉजिकल एंगल से इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया में डिबेट होनी चाहिए, सोशल मीडिया में उसमें अवेयरनेस क्रिएट होनी चाहिए. ये नहीं हो रहा है. अदरवाइज क्या हो रहा है मालूम है? आज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया और सोशल मीडिया की बात करें तो अपनी ही प्रवृत्ति के अनुरूप लोगों को खुद से जोड़ना. मतलब व्हाट्सएप का ग्रुप में एक एग्जाम्पल बताऊं. जम्मू कश्मीर में स्टोन पेल्टिंग की घटनाएं बहुत हुई. अजय भाई तो शायद मेरे बात के साथ सहमत होंगे. 200-250 के व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है. 200-250 के व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में मैसेज जाते ही 200 लोग पत्थर मारने के लिए बाहर निकल जाते हैं. ऐसे 200 ग्रुप है. और जो उसके एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के जो एडमिन है, वो एडमिन को पैसा दिया जाता है और वो एडमिन थ्रू वो ग्रुप के बाकी को पैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होते हैं. तो इज इट अ पॉजिटिव ग्रुप, पॉजिटिव इंपैक्ट? ये मैं कश्मीर की बात किया. अगर हम अपनी खुद की बात करें, से पाटीदार का एजिटेशन चला, दलित का एजिटेशन चला, ओबीसी का एजिटेशन चला, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप हैड प्लेड ए वेरी वाइटल रोल. और वो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के साथ साथ जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप जो है वो अपनी ही प्रवृत्ति के रूप में अपने ही अनुरूप लोगों को जोड़ता है. मतलब क्या हुआ? इंक्लूसिव होने के बजाय सब लोग एक्सक्लूसिव होते जा रहे हैं. Our 2018 Parliament's basic theme is the process of inclusion with the power of love. तो ये तो इंक्लूजन के बजाय ये एक्सक्लूसिव होते जा रहे हैं. चाहे वो हिंदू हो, मुस्लिम हो, सिख हो, ईसाई हो, हर एक का अपना खुद का ग्रुप होता जा रहा है और वो ग्रुप के हिसाब से कार्य होता है. और नॉट ओनली दैट ग्रुप, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया, एवरी रिलीजन हैज नाउ देयर ओन टीवी चैनल. Whether it is a Jain, whether it is Islam, whether it is a Hinduism, whether it is every Sikh, everybody have their own channel. So they are propagating of their own religion. Instead of promoting the harmony, they are propagating their own religion. Propagation of own religion is not wrong. I am not saying that. But at that time, they should show that what other religions are saying in their channel. Sikh channel can show the concepts of Christianity, concept of Hinduism, concept of Jainism, they can show. कई मुस्लिम चैनल ऐसी है जो फंडामेंटलिज्म को जनरेट करती है. तो ये जो टीवी चैनल्स की बात है, सोशल मीडिया की बात है, वैसे इनडायरेक्टली एक्सक्लूसिविटी को प्रमोट करता है. वी इंडिया नाउ रिक्वायर द इंक्लूसिवनेस. बहुत हो गया एक्सक्लूसिव में. नाउ वी नीड इंक्लूसिवनेस. एक्सक्लूसिवनेस में हमने बहुत गवाया है 70 साल में. अब हमें वी नीड इंक्लूसिविटी. एक्सक्लूसिव हमें नहीं बनना है. धार्मिक रिलीजियस फंडामेंटलिज्म के ग्रुप भी बहुत बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, वैसे पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों के भी ग्रुप बनते जा रहे हैं। व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों के भी है। नॉट ओनली द पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के अंदर जो ग्रुप्स है, ग्रुप्स विद इन पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, उनके भी ग्रुप्स है। और जो मीडिया चैनल है, अजय भाई मुझे माफ करना अगर मैं कुछ डायरेक्ट बोल दूं तो कुछ टीवी चैनल्स भी एक ग्रुप, एक चैनल इस ग्रुप को प्रमोट करते हो, शायद दूसरी चैनल वही पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के दूसरे ग्रुप को प्रमोट करती है, और इसी हिसाब से इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया में न्यूज आते हैं। दिस इज द रियलिटी आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, दिस इज द ग्राउंड रियलिटी। किस तरह से डिबेट में बोलना है वो तो मेरे पर तो कभी कोई इंपोज नहीं कर पाते हैं। सबको मालूम है जयेश भाई को बोलना है तो वो जो बोलेगा वो सुनना पड़ेगा। अदरवाइज ऐसे कई बार इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए जाते हैं कि यहां पर इस लाइन से बात करना। तो दिस इज द हार्डकोर रियलिटी। तो इसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि जो एक दूसरे के धर्म के प्रति आदर और श्रद्धा, एक दूसरे ज्ञातियों के प्रति आदर और श्रद्धा के बजाय एक दूसरे में बिखराव, एक दूसरे में तनाव, एक दूसरे में के लिए कट्टरवाद को बढ़ावा मिलते जा रहा है, चाहे वो सवर्ण हो या चाहे पिछड़े हो, कोई भी हो। एक सोशल मीडिया, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया से जो पब्लिकली हो जाता है, फिर वो वायरल, अभी शब्द बहुत पॉपुलर है, वायरल होता है। वायरल होना मतलब मिलियंस और लोगों के बीच में पहुंच जाता है। तो फिर जो बात सच नहीं है वो जो मिलियंस बार बोली जाती है तो फिर वो आपो आप सच बन जाती है। अगर हम सच भी बोले तो कोई सुनने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। आई हैड रिटन वन बुक फॉर स्पेसिफिकली फॉर दिस हिंदू मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन, आई हैव वन बुक ऑन इट कि 2071-2081 तक कितनी पॉपुलेशन होगी डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज, कौन से डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, ऑल कंट्री वाइड, डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज। तो ऐसी तरह से ऐसे प्रोग्राम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया से आने चाहिए। प्रिंट मीडिया की बात तो आगे ये करेंगे, सोशल मीडिया में उसके लिए अवेयरनेस कैंपेन होने चाहिए, लेकिन वो नहीं हो पाते हैं। तो टू गेट इंटरफेथ हार्मनी, इंटरफेथ हार्मनी इज मच मोर एसेंशियल फॉर इंटरफेथ हार्मनी। अगर इंटरफेथ हार्मनी, वी विल नॉट डेवलप द इंटरफेथ हार्मनी, then how can it be possible the interfaith harmony? When the sects within a religion not become inclusive for their own particular religion under which their sect is operating, how can that religion can be strengthened and can have an harmony with another religion? This is a very serious matter. एक धर्म के अंदर 20, 25, 50, 100 संप्रदाय होते हैं। संप्रदाय के भी पेटा संप्रदाय होते हैं, सेक्ट अंडर सब सेक्ट। तो जब तक विदिन सेक्ट, विदिन रिलीजियन, विदिन सेक्ट अगर यूनिटी नहीं होगी, इंक्लूसिवनेस नहीं होगा, हार्मनी नहीं होगी, तो वही पर्टिकुलर रिलीजन अन्य रिलीजन के साथ कैसे हार्मनी में आएंगे? तो ये सबके लिए इंटरफेथ हार्मनी, इंट्राफेथ हार्मनी, वी नीड द स्ट्रॉन्गर परसेप्शन, स्ट्रॉन्गर रिसेप्शन फ्रॉम द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया एंड द सोशल मीडिया। क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया और सोशल मीडिया आर द ओनली मीडियम दैट थ्रू विच दे कैन डू वॉट एवर दे विश टू डू। If they wish that in within a 6 months time they want to generate a harmony, the power with the social media and electronic media, they can create a harmony if they wish. If they wish, keeping 3P out. Politicians. So keeping 3P out, I don't want to make it more open. I am very, मैं बहुत तूफानी हूँ, आगे इतना ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाना चाहता हूँ। तो पॉलिटिशियन जो फंडामेंटलिस्ट एलिमेंट है, पॉलिटिशियंस है, उसको साइड पर रख करके हार्मनी जनरेट करना शुरू करो, 6 महीने में हार्मनी हो जाएगी। और अगर नहीं होगी तो हार्मनी बढ़ती जाएगी। ये तो आज क्या हो रहा है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया और सोशल मीडिया से ऐसा हो रहा है कि हर रोज नया नया विवाद शुरू हो रहा है। एक विवाद खत्म नहीं होता है, वहाँ आकर के दूसरा विवाद आकर के शुरू ही हो जाता है। एक स्टूडेंट की हत्या हुई, उसका मैटर खत्म नहीं होता है, उनके पास दूसरा मसाला आ ही जाता है और उसको वो नेगेटिव वे में फिर पब्लिश हो ही जाता है। तो नित नए नए जन्म होता है सोशल मीडिया और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया से, और वो हमेशा विवाद ही जनरेट करता है। तो मेरा ये मानना है कि वी हैव टू कंपेल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया एंड सोशल मीडिया। सोशल मीडिया तो अपने हाथ में है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया को तो वी हैव टू कंपेल कि हाउ टू क्रिएट अ हार्मोनियस एटमोस्फियर। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया हैव दैट पावर, दे कैन शो द सीरियल्स ऑफ दैट टाइप। से आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द दूरदर्शन एरा, At that time we had a serial like हम लोग, बुनियाद, जो हम रियलिटी में थी. आज तो ये सब शो है. क्या हम घर में वही कपड़े पहनते, क्या हम घर में ऐसे ही पहन के फरते, ऐसे ही पहन के घूमते, ऐसे ही पहन के, नहीं है, ये रियलिटी नहीं है. दे आर जस्ट द शोज. हम लोग एंड बुनियाद एक ऐसा था जो रियली द सोसाइटी की रियलिटी बताता था. सो वी हैव टू कंपेल द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया दैट कम ऑन एंड show us the harmonious, come on, have a debate on such issues. Like, I am really very pity, I feel very sad to say that if there is anything positive is happening in the society, they are not ready to show. I want to cite, ऐसा नहीं है मैं मेरी खुद की प्रशंसा के लिए एग्जाम्पल नहीं देता हूँ, रिसेंट है इसलिए मैं बताता हूँ. In Baroda, I met all the imams and maulvis and Islamic scholars on the Eid day, individually and with together. फिर उसके बाद इवनिंग में all the scholars, Islamic scholars, Maulvis and Imams with Hindu leaders and Christian leaders, we met together. Not a single media had taken a note of this positive news. Not a single media. Is this a positive news? Do you think it should shown? It should get published? This type of program can show that the harmony can be possible. A Hindu can meet a Muslim scholar or a Muslim imam or Maulvi in a mosque on the Eid day, greet him, had their shir khurma, and we met at the end of the day with the Hindu leaders, Hindu religious leaders from different sects, and Christian leaders, and a Sikh Granthi of a Gurudwara. No, not even an electronic media or not a print media had covered that news. This is the positive news. These can generate a positive vibrations among the society, but nobody is ready to carry such news. So I am really, again and again, repeatedly, I am saying that if electronic media wishes to generate a harmonious atmosphere, they can do in 6 months' time. They can do any miracle. I am sure they can do any miracle. I am really saying with a responsibility that they can create a miracle by showing a positive way of news, positive way of serials, positive way during the prime time. Thank you.
Many sincere thanks to Dr. Jay Shah, Ambassador, Parliament of Religions, Parliament of the World's Religion, Barodara. We will now welcome and request Dr. Ajay Umad, the Chief Editor of Navgujarat Samay Ahmedabad, to deliver his speech on the topic, Role of Education and Media in Interfaith Harmony. Dr. Ajay Umad.
Gujarati. ખરેખર in fact I have prepared my speech in English only because but if audience demand I don't mind. Call is yeah mixer સારું ખીચડી ચાલશે yeah but Rajput Sahib is chairing the session, so Honorable Rajput Sahib, respected Nikhileswaranand ji, my friend Jayesh Bhai, dignitaries sitting in the audience, brothers, sisters, and my fellow journalists. I really wish to give compliments to the organizers for organizing, such event in Rajkot. And Rajput Sahib, let me tell you what Swami Vivekananda has told, on 11 September 1893. I think is more relevant than what he spoke before 125 years. The reason is that, humanity has survived 2 big world wars after that. And incidentally, the Twin Tower attack happened in America. That happened also on 11 September 2001. The point I am making is that humanity survived 2 big world wars and 9/11 attack on Twin Towers. And I distinctly remember that Einstein has written, when somebody asked him, okay, what about Third World War? So Einstein, a very non-conformist thinker, has said that, I don't know about, how Third World War would be fought, but I can tell you that Fourth World War would be fought with stone and sticks. But today, with a sense of responsibility, I am going to tell you, though I am a student of science, and let me clarify that I am not a doctor or doctorate, I am still pursuing my PhD, which I have yet not received. So I am not a doctor, Nikhileswaranandaji, as I was addressed. I am sure that, Fourth World War, it's a question of our survival, because today the superpowers and the rogue nations are having lot of nuclear arsenals with them that I don't know when a Cuban moment will come and whether we will survive that Third World War or not. So I don't think that, if Fourth World War will come, whether we will have stick or stones or even my pen. So the reason today when I am standing here at the outset, let me put a disclaimer. I may not be an authority to speak on, Swami Vivekananda or about the teaching of his masters, that is, Ramakrishna, Swami Ramakrishna ji. But Nikhileswaranandaji, let me tell you that this seminar has improved my literacy on the subject. Now coming back to Jayesh Bhai, we both belong to Baroda, and MS University of Baroda is my alma mater, Rajkot Sahab. So when I was doing my studies in social work, I'll come back to, and I promise you that I will not deviate from this subject of interfaith harmony. Rajkot Sahab, when I went to take admissions after doing my BSc, to Faculty of Social Work, and I was very honest, Vice Chancellor, there was a team, sitting there. They said, okay, what are your options, if we don't give you admission in Faculty of Social Work? So, very proudly, I took out a letter and I said, okay, look, this is my CAT score. And with this CAT score, I was not qualified to get admission in IIM Ahmedabad, but I am sure to get admission in IRMA, Institute for Rural Management. And in those days, Institute for Rural Management IRMA was considered to be a very big institute. So I said, okay, sir, I am definitely going to get an admission there. So Professor Sharma asked me that, what will you do after doing this MSW, Masters in Social Work? So I said that, sir, I want to become gatekeeper in the society. I want to become whistleblower in the society. So wherever, anything will go wrong, as journalist, I'll put my foot down. And, all faculty members thought, he said, you want to become journalist? I said, yeah, I think that journalist can become a better social worker. Whenever something is going wrong, I'll become a gatekeeper in the society and I'll say that thus far and no further. So they said, would you please sit outside for 5 minutes? I said, okay. And sir, unanimously that committee has taken a decision that this boy is dangerous. Tomorrow he may file some story about, about teachers' interpersonal relationship, about some peer group, love affair relationship in our faculty going on. And this boy is dangerous, he may write about university politics and he may create problem for us. So they all unanimously decided not to give me admission. And then they told me that, you please go to Anand and you might get admission there. Now, this I am talking to you 1985. Those were the days, where, I didn't have this social media where, from WhatsApp or from email, I can inform my faculty members that, yes, I'm willing to take admission, please grant me admission, or I can book an Ola and can reach to Anand, because distance from Baroda to Anand is almost 40-45 kilometers. So I requested them with folded hand that, sir, now that option is over, this is 4:30, I had to report before 2:30 there. He said, sorry, you try some other institute, but we cannot grant you decision, and this is a unanimous decision. So I went to University Vice Chancellor, and Lord Bhikkhu Parekh was my Vice Chancellor, and he asked me, he said, why did they deny admission? I said, sir, because I spoke truth and nothing but truth, I got this punishment. If I would have told them that, I want to become personal manager or labor welfare officer, they would have granted me admission, because, that comes under the purview of Faculty of Social Work, that after doing post-graduation, you become labor welfare officer. But I said that I want to become journalist, they are now not granting me admission. So he said, okay, should I ask you a question? I said, yes. He said, suppose you are passing through a girls' hostel and a girl with whom you really want to date and you really admire her and he was your first crush, and this is your last exam, last exam, and if that girl offers you that let's go for a movie, हम आपके हैं कौन, in those days, यानी पन तालियों पड़ी हैं, so what will you do? So I very politely said कि sir exam तो हर 6 महीने में आती है, this opportunity may come, may not come. So my vice chancellor said that you are an honest boy, and he granted me admission, you know, and that is how I became a student of social work. But when I really wanted to do some social work, now here is an answer. Rajkot sir, what happened? When I went to IPCL, in those days IPCL was considered to be one of the Navratna in Baroda, and there, you know, I saw that those who had donated their land for that prestigious project, and those people who were promised that, you know, after this project would come into being, you know, you will be offered class 3, class 4 jobs. They were deprived of those jobs, and those people were working as, you know, casual laborer, and people who came outside from Gujarat, you know, they were given, because, you know, a Bihari officer or an officer from Uttar Pradesh who came to Gujarat, he came with his, you know, his peon, his paraphernalia, and they were all offered class 3, class 4 jobs. So I said that, you know, this is injustice, because when I saw people sitting outside, those who have donated land for their projects, and they were deprived compensation as well as jobs to their near and dears. So I wrote an article in my newspaper, in my Sunday column, in Indian Express and also in Lok Satta Jansatta newspaper, that, you know, this is a line of haves and have-nots, and those who are promised class 3, class 4 jobs are deprived because of this chairman's policy. That chairman immediately complained to my faculty members, and they unanimously again my faculty met, and they sent me to mental hospital, and they said, you work in mental hospital for 6 months. Now imagine the plight of a young man. I was sent to mental hospital and I was asked to do social work, Badraben, and there, you know, I met, you know, schizophrenic, abnormal people, people with suicidal tendencies, and you know, people who were very, you know, adolescent boys, you know, who had committed suicide and all such things, all abnormal people, and I worked with them for 6 months. And Swamiji, that 6 months experience with abnormal people has helped me to work better with IAS, IPS officers and politicians in Gandhinagar. And that is the success story of my journalism also. So there, you know, I really thought that I should do some social work. And in mental hospital, you know, I found so many young boys and girls, you know, suffering from drug addiction. Now, Rajput Sahab, this I am talking to you 1985, 86, you know, we are students from home science faculty, medicine faculty, from faculty of arts, fine arts, technology and other people, those students who were suffering from homesickness, as well as, you know, those who were studying under a lot of stress and strain of submissions and PhD thesis and all such things, they were all taking, you know, drugs. So I thought, you know, this menace of drug and narcotics, you know, is something, you know, that I should stop. And I, being a journalist, should do something for all such things. So I decided, you know, whenever a student will come there, I will do his counseling and I'll try to find out. Because the journalist in me, you know, will tell me about modus operandi, from where he is getting all this stuff, what kind of stuff. And sir, when I again became journalist, the first story I wrote about, you know, this drug peddling business in Baroda city. And Jayeshbhai, that whole night, આખી રાત મને ઊંઘ ના આવી, મને થયું કે તંત્રી મારી બાયલાઈન તો નહીં કાઢી નાખે ને. So that story published 8-column flyer in Lok Satta Jansatta newspaper and it also in Indian Express newspaper. Rajput Sahab, after that paper got printed, you know, I took a copy, put it in my Luna Spark in those days, and went to the railway station, and I was watching everybody, whether they are reading my newspaper, whether they were reading my story or not, what is the reaction. And I saw people were reading, you know, my story with a lot of interest. I went to the hostel and slept. Around 7:30 in morning, you know, my room partner woke me. He said, "Ala ડફોડ, આપણે ત્યાં કે પાણી ગેટ મળતું હતું તે કીધું જ નહીં, અમે તો ઠેક રાવપુરા અને બહેરામપુરા લેવા જતા હતા." Those people were asking me that you being my roommate, you didn't tell me okay, this stuff is available, very near to our hostels, we were all taking there. I said, were you taking drugs? He said, yeah, every Saturday night we used to take drug, we used to go for party to a nearby hostel, and the whole group is like this. Around 9 o'clock when I got up, get myself into, when I went to the hostel canteen, those were the days, you can take a picture and, send it on your WhatsApp group. My cutting was lying there on the notice board, and everybody was religiously writing, that cocaine is available where, heroin is available where, opium is available where, snake biting, what are the charges, bhang kya made che, afin kya made che, ganjo kya made che, charas kya made che. People were jotting down the note. And then, I thought, my God, I have done disservice to the society, by giving this address to these people. Around 11 o'clock, I received a phone call, and my warden informed me. In those days, warden will give you a call that, your editor wants to talk to you. So my editor said, you come down to office. My editor told me that Commissioner of Police wants to talk to you. So I immediately went to Commissioner of Police. And Commissioner of Police was firing all, his deputy, his additional police commissioner, his D staff, his CID crime, and everybody. So when I entered his chamber, his PA and others said, sir, avi gyo Ajay Umat. So Commissioner turned into me and he said, अरे यार तुम ये चीज़ हमको नहीं बता सकते. मैंने कहा क्या हुआ? बोले सब निकम्मे लोग हैं, बिल्कुल मक्कार है, inefficient people. I said क्या हुआ? बोले 50% अड्डा वाला were not giving haftas to them. Now, sir, this was the plight, and he said that next time if you break the story, inform us so that, we can do, raid, and then we will inform you about this addawalas. And in the evening, when I went to my office, so many addawalas were waiting for me. અને મને લાગ્યું કે હવે માર પડશે. So immediately मैंने बाइक जो है सीधा प्रेस के अंदर ऊपर चढ़ा दिया, and that चाय वाला राजू came to me કે સર અડ્ડાવાળા તમને શોધે છે. સો આઈ સેડ આઈ ડોન્ટ વોન્ટ ટુ ટોક ટુ ધેમ. અરે કે સાહેબ આવી જાઓ, સેટિંગ કરવાનું છે. સો આઈ સેડ क्या सेटिंग करना है? तो कि नहीं सर आप आ जाइए. सो आई वेंट आउटसाइड. सो अड्डा वाला सेड कि सर जिसका स्टोरी लिखा उसका तो बिजनेस बहुत अच्छा हो गया, उनका पुलिस वालों के साथ सेटिंग हो गया. नाउ डू पार्ट 2 स्टोरी एंड राइट अवर नेम्स ऑल्सो दैट अवर बिजनेस विल गो. So sorry for that deviation, but at times you feel that you are doing social work. It turned out to be other way around. But now coming back to Swami Vivekananda ji, and what Swami Vivekananda ji has said. So let me put a disclaimer that I am not a very knowledgeable person on this subject of Swami Vivekananda or the teachings of Ramakrishna ji. But this seminar has improved my literacy. And I consider Swami Vivekananda ji as messenger of peace, an icon of interfaith harmony. And if I have to borrow terminology from marketing, I will say that he was brand ambassador of India. Now what Swami Vivekananda has said, if I quote him from his first speech of 11 September, he said that I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. And in the last paragraph, Swamiji said that sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant, fanaticism, have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be more advanced than what it is now. Now this is what Swami Vivekananda is saying in 1893. But sir, today the world is facing a problem which I have said that the problem of existence, the problem of survival. The American president today is more worried about North Korea, about his president, and about his missiles than with Mr. Xi Jinping and China, with whom he is waging a trade war. In those days, we didn't have social media, Jayesh bhai. We didn't have this WhatsApp and Facebook and other things, or TV electronic media, and still Swami Vivekananda has said that the world is suffering from communication gap. And I feel that today we have more communication gap. The reason is that we are living in an era of fake news and post-truth. Now when I say this, Rajkot Sahab, we say that journalism is fourth estate, but these days we have fifth columnist. And we have, citizen journalism, we have blog writers, we have whistleblowers, we have, misinformation campaigners. A blog written would remain forever in the cyberspace. I'll just give you some figures, media figures, that newspaper took 44 years. Newspaper took 44 years to reach 5 crore readers. Radio took 32 years to 5 crore listeners. Television took 20 years to reach 5 crore viewers. Telephone took 20 years to reach 5 crore subscribers. Television took 13 years to reach 5 crore viewers. Internet took 5 years to reach 5 crore subscribers. Facebook took only 2 years to reach 5 crore users. And Twitter took only 3 months to reach 5 crore trolls. And sir, in any recession, the traffic of Google is increasing at the rate of 400% per annum. Now, it was Gutenberg who invented printing press. From the era of Gutenberg to Zuckerberg, my friend Mark Zuckerberg, who has invented this Facebook and who has questioned all my privacy and my data is infringed, every day and night. From the era of Gutenberg to Zuckerberg, or from the era of papyrus to pixel, the biggest crisis that today we are suffering is crisis of credibility. We are living in an era of information revolution. We are every day passing through information superhighway, but the biggest crisis that today we are facing is the crisis of credibility, whether this forwarded message is right or wrong. As you have said that, Muslim population is increasing at the rate of 8.9 and Hindus would be extinct from this earth. Who is going to verify this data? Because we have nobody. The world is suffering from 3 big issues. Any misinformation or disinformation can bring, a Cuban crisis which occurred in 1962. World is at the juncture of a nuclear war. Second thing, the silo mentality among the powerful nations. When I say silo mentality, I mean that, it's a story of that elephant and 6 blind men. Everybody thinks that, if I have touched the tusk, the elephant is like tusk or trunk or trail. So they see truth, whether it is truth or not, but the way they experience or their partial experience. And that reminds me the story which Swami Vivekananda has said in his second speech of 15th September 1893, the story of a frog. Where frog says that, my well is bigger than your sea. The reality is that sea was bigger. And then Swami Vivekananda said that, Hindu thinks that his well is bigger, Muslim thinks that his well is bigger, and Christian thinks that his well is bigger. And when I write about newspaper people, about my own community, everybody has bias. And Jayesh Bhai, should I tell you one sentence? That bias is like an elephant in your drawing room. Everybody sees it and nobody speaks about it. Everybody knows, that this is bias. But then the question comes that who controls media? That reminds me Noam Chomsky, one of the finest thinkers of our age. And Noam Chomsky has said that this is not in the 2018, but he refers, the era of Woodrow Wilson, who got elected as President of America with a slogan that peace without victory. But Woodrow Wilson administration wanted, war. And the people in America were very, very pessimistic. They never wanted to go to a war. But because Woodrow Wilson administrator has committed that he will go to war with a lobby, and that is the reason, they have created a Krill Commission, and the job of this Krill Commission was to control all the media, and they have controlled not only all the media barons, media owners, to all the columnists, to all the intellectuals in America, and they have created such a mass hysteria in the society that after 6 months, every American wanted to go for a war. They wanted to tear limb out of limb from every German because of that war hysteria was created by a Krill Commission. And what happened in 1918 still hold true in 2018 also, that we all media barons or media journalists, they are busy in manufacturing consent with the help of social media, with the help of Facebook, or with the help of their own electronic media, or with their blog, or with their newspaper. They are either spinning the newspaper. And that is how, I feel that what is the teaching of Swami Vivekananda, because whenever Swami Vivekananda was confirmed, he will go to his master. And what is the teaching of Master Ramakrishna says? Ramakrishna says that, you must have an uncanny ability to enter into somebody's shoes and then, feel the pinch, what other feels. And what Ramakrishna did, he was born a Hindu and he learned Advaita Vedanta from his Guru Tutapuri. To know Islam, he followed the practice of Islam under a Sufi saint Govinda Roy in 1866. In the words of Ramakrishna, and I quote, I devotedly repeated the name of Allah, wore a cloth like an Arab Muslim, and said the prayer 5 times daily. And in 1870, his devotee, Sambhu Charan Malik, taught him the Bible, and Sri Ramakrishna practiced Christianity. After personally undergoing all the experiences in Hinduism, Islam and Christianity, Sri Ramakrishna concluded, and I quote, as many faiths, so many paths. A truly religious man should think that other religions are also paths leading to truth. We should always maintain an attitude of respect towards other religion. Remain always strong and steadfast in your own faith, but eschew all bigotry and intolerance. Now, when I say this, Lincoln had that uncanny ability to put himself, in somebody's shoes and, feel the pain of others. But today, with sorry state of affairs, I will start with my own fraternity also, that we are lacking this. We don't talk about, human development index. We don't talk about, gender inequality. We don't talk about infant mortality rate. We don't talk about illiteracy. We don't talk about, child dropout ratio in schools. We don't talk about, holistic growth or inclusive growth. We only talk about vote bank politics because, all the politicians in my country, they think for a next election and they are not bothered about next generation. So what Swami Vivekananda said, he said that society, my goal should be help and not fight. My goal should be assimilation and not destruction. My goal should be harmony and peace and not dissension. And as media person, what should I do? With folded hand, I said that I should maintain my credibility. I should maintain that credibility not occasionally, but with consistently. And I should behave like a responsible journalism. Dialogue and discussion can fetch, lot of, with dialogue and discussion, we can resolve lot of issues. Our Hindu culture says that, vade jaite tattvabodha. So dialogue and discussion is the only solution. We belong to a culture which believes in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So with this, I conclude what Swami Vivekananda has said, that arise, awake and stop not till the goal is achieved. And goal, as I have described, is help and not fight. When Swami Vivekananda was once asked, what is your teaching in your life? He said that Jiva and Siva. If you help a human being, that is, a prayer to the God. તમે માણસ જાતનું કલ્યાણ કરવાનું કામ કરશો તો દુનિયાભરનું કલ્યાણ થશે અને જાતનું પણ કલ્યાણ થશે. અસ્તુ. ધન્યવાદ. ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર.
Many thanks to Shri Ajay Umadji, the Chief Editor of Gujarat Samay Ahmedabad, for his speech. We'll now request the chairperson of the session, Professor J.S. Rajput, to deliver the chairperson's address. Professor J.S. Rajput.
Esteemed Swamiji, Jayesh ji, Ajay ji, distinguished monks, intellectuals, scholars, colleagues and friends, आराम से बैठ जाइए, कोई बड़ी बात कहने नहीं जा रहा, रिलैक्स. मैंने स्वामी जी ने जब शुरू किया तो आई रिकॉल्ड ए सेंटेंस, 3 sentences of Nelson Mandela. He writes, people are not born to hate. Second sentence, they are taught to hate. Third, they can be taught to love. That is what education should be doing. That is what is the objective. All the deliberations today and on umpteen occasions have only this two. Swamiji, we need not brainwash children. Our objective is to give them an ambience. If they see a committed teacher, punctual, regular, devoted to his work, they will themselves expand their horizons. If they say caring parents who look after them and who do not forget about them after getting them in any school and leave everything to the tuition master, their life would be different. If parents are following values, children need not read a lesson on values. They themselves will learn it, imbibe it, internalize it. This is what education is supposed to do. Jayesh Bhai, all of you liked him. He came with me from Ahmedabad and I have become an admirer of him. What he was telling us was, because of the communication technology, the gadgets, standing here, I can get connected to anybody, anywhere on this planet Earth. Maybe tomorrow even outside the planet Earth. In 4 words, all of us have become neighbors. All of us have become neighbors. We have yet to become neighborly. हम पड़ोस में आ गए हैं, पड़ोसी बनना और ये एजुकेशन को करना। पड़ोसी नहीं बने, कैसे बनेंगे? मीडिया की बहुत अच्छी बातचीत हुई। You know, young people talk of future, old people often recall the past. I feel very pained when Sachin Tendulkar tells me कि हिंदुस्तान के बहुत से लोग बच्चे सचिन तेंदुलकर इसलिए नहीं बनते कि उन्हें आरओ का पानी नहीं पिलाया जाता। आई फील डिमोरलाइज्ड। मैंने अपने बच्चों को आरओ का पानी नहीं पिलाया था। ये डिमोरलाइजेशन है या नहीं? एक माँ जो बड़ी मुश्किल से बच्चे को दूध देती है ग्लास, मीडिया उसको कहता है नहीं, दूध में कुछ भी नहीं है जब तक आपने इसमें ये नहीं मिलाया, क्या नहीं कुछ मिलाया, तब मेरी तकलीफ होती है। और मुझे लगता है कि मैं बहुत दिन से एजुकेशन में रहा, लाइफ लॉन्ग रहा, मुझे तकलीफ क्यों होती है? ज़रा सोच कर देखिए, आपको होती है कि नहीं होती? क्या आपको ऐसे चीज़ें मिलती हैं रोज़? मैं अपने कुछ बच्चों से कह रहा था कि सड़क पर एक मोटरसाइकिल पेड़ से टकरा गई। मीडिया का एक्सपर्ट जो होगा, अच्छा जी, वो पूरे 1 घंटे का प्रोग्राम बना देगा इस पर, उसी सेंटेंस को दोहराएगा, लैंग्वेज को करेगा, करता रहेगा और हम सुनते रहेंगे। कितना, कभी कोई कैलकुलेट करे कि हाउ मच नेशनल टाइम इज वेस्टेड। एनीवे, ये मैंने काम कर दिया एज ए चेयरपर्सन। अब मुझे जो बात कहनी थी वो कह रहा हूँ। यू नो, व्हेन आई वाज 11 years old, और ये बात यहाँ से बहुत लोगों को नहीं मालूम होगी, आई वॉज एडमिटेड टू ए न्यू स्कूल इन द मंथ ऑफ अक्टूबर इन यूपी। देयर वाज नो, those days there was no water supply, there was no pipeline in the school, there were no plastic bottles, there were 2 water tanks. So we are supposed to take water from the water tanks. हाथ से पानी पी लीजिए। I saw 2 water tanks in that school. I was new. One a huge one and a small one. 2 पानी की टंकी थी, एक बहुत बड़ी थी, एक छोटी थी। छोटी के सामने 4-5 बच्चे खड़े थे, बड़ी के सामने 30-35 थे। मैं छोटी के सामने जाकर खड़ा हो गया और मैंने पानी पिया। और जैसे ही मैंने पानी पिया, I was surrounded by all those 35 which were with the bigger tank. And they said, मुसलमान टंकी में पानी पी लिया। 1953. ये मेरा पहला एक्सपीरियंस था. I was shaken. In the evening, my father looked at my face and said, "What went wrong? Are you sick? What happened?" I said, "Nothing happened." I did not tell him. Because I knew if my mother comes to know, there would be a real problem. So when my mother was not in the near about, I admitted it to my father कि आज ऐसा हुआ, मैंने मुसलमान टंकी में पानी पी लिया. He told me, नहीं, तुमने कुछ गलत नहीं किया है, अपनी माँ को मत बताना, कुछ गलत नहीं किया है. And that day he gave me a lesson. He said, उन्होंने अपने ढंग से बताया. He was first generation learner. स्वामी जी, he said, मोहम्मद साहब जिन्होंने इस्लाम दिया, वो एक घर से निकलते थे, एक महिला उन पर कूड़े फेंकती थी, रोज फेंकती थी. जब नहीं फेंका तो उन्होंने कहा, क्या हुआ, क्यों नहीं फेंका? फिर उन्होंने उसकी सेवा किया. जो इतना अच्छा हो सकता है वो हमारे देवताओं से अच्छा ही होगा, कम नहीं है, इसलिए तुमने कुछ गलत नहीं. That day, 1953, in 2015, I have continuously tried to find out how respect can be developed in educational institutions for other religions, for otherness. And on June 15, 2015, Mr. Narendra Modi released a book of mine, Education of Muslims in India. The objective was, everybody knows the negatives of Islam. How many of us know the positives of Islam? Positives of Christianity. And based upon this contention, release of the was only one of the examples I gave you. In the year 2000, when I was the director of NCRT, that 1953 incident made me do many things, many researches. And in the year 2000, November 2000, we proposed from the NCRT, and this is the major thing that I want to submit to all of you, because to my mind, this can really generate a generation of people who will internalize interfaith harmony. The proposition is, in schools, children must be made aware of basics of all the religions of India. They should know the basics, they should know the commonalities, and they should learn to respect differences wherever these exist. Truth is a common factor. Peace is a common factor. Non-violence is a common factor. Right conduct is a common factor. Love and brotherhood is a common factor. I have not known any faith, any religion, any sect which does not accept these 5 values. These 5 you can put in terms of 7, you can say 10, you can do it. But commonalities are there. There are differences. For example, moksha is a difference. Children can be made to respect differences. And these 5 values are common values. Every teacher should be a teacher of values. If you are a lecturer in physics, professor of physics, you are also a professor of physics and a value educator of physics. Physics, teaching a particular topic, you can teach hundreds, so many values. Friends, this proposition was disliked by many. That religion, how in a secular country we can talk of religion? How can I quote a slok from Gita? Because Gita is a religious book, so banned. The bhajan which are Kabir, banned. Somebody will say to religion. This was a bold proposition, and it was made after consulting many people, eminent scholars, religious people, because we knew this would be challenged. It was challenged in the court. And for those of you, I would like to give a reference. 12th September 2002, a 3-judge bench of the Supreme Court of India said, we endorse every line of these proposals. This should have been done 50 years ago. This will strengthen secularism. So Indian concept of secularism has to be redone, re-understood in its proper perspective. Now, we prepared books accordingly, and the other story I will not narrate here because the time may not be here. But what I would like to say is, for proper understanding of education in say next 10 years, I would like to recall an initiative of the UNESCO. They prepared a book, Learning the Treasure Within. In 1996, this book was released in Geneva. It is also called Delos Commission Report. The title is Learning the Treasure Within. And when this book was released, I was so happy, as if the image of Swami Vivekananda appeared before me. Learning the treasure within. Education is perfection, manifestation of the perfection already within man. That book has been discussed for the last 20 years everywhere. When I became the chairman of the National Council for Teacher Education, I went to several scholars to find out a Sutra Vakya which will incorporate education, teacher, role of teachers, objectives of education, and practically everything that can be thought of. A Sutra Vakya should be inclusive. I was given a few hints, but you know what we selected finally is Gurur Gurtamo Dhama. I did not know the meaning. It was explained to me. The teacher takes a person from humanity to divinity. Who is a teacher? Who is an educator? Who helps you march ahead on the path of spirituality. When I was making this proposition, and even after 2004, when things changed, I have been devoting all my time to this. I am convinced that religions are a reality. Let us accept. Religions exist. Most of the people follow religions. When a child is born, he is born in a religion. As he grows up, in 1, 2, 3 years, he first meets the religion. To me, and you can excuse me for my naivety, spirituality is the essence of all religions. And that is one method, but you cannot close your eyes to the existence of religions. And that is what is the main problem that is happening. In the year 1996, when that report was released, it identified 3 problems before the world. And when you identify problems before the world, in effect, those are the problems for education. And they said, every nation is facing economic crisis, crisis of ideology of progress, and some sort of a moral crisis. Today, things are different. Today, you have to talk of technology. What would happen to education because of technology? You can call it ICT or anything. Globalization. What will happen to the world because of globalization? And the third point that has been identified by Thomas Friedman in one of his books, and which includes practically everything that is the challenge for education, climate change. ये कैसी एजुकेशन हमने दी है जिसमें पढ़े लिखे लोग अपनी नदियों को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं, पहाड़ों को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं, जंगलों को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं, बच्चों को जहरीली हवा दे रहे हैं। अनपढ़ लोग तो नहीं कर रहे हैं। क्या एजुकेशन की क्रेडिबिलिटी बढ़ रही है, घट रही है? What is the missing link in education? What are the elements that are missing in education? और कहाँ है, क्यों नहीं है मेरे पास? Why are we not able to have an education system that would prepare people? Even in the normal teacher training classes, there is a 3x3 matrix. Gandhiji wrote, education must bring out the best out of head, hand and heart. Head, hand, heart. It can be restated, body, mind and spirit. Third, there is another one, self, society and nature. This spirit and self appears everywhere. Looking within, it takes a lot of years for anybody to understand what is the meaning of to look within. At least I can say from my experience. We all look outside. We can preach to others look within, but it is not easy to look within. Here in this ambience, Swamiji is sitting. These are the people who have guided hundreds and hundreds of people. But the issue is, can education really take a new shape? A shape that will focus on man-making education, which Swamiji used to tell us, man-making education. We don't do it. All our education has been reverted to marks, marks and marks, grades, grades and grades. Something has to be done, something has to be done and something has to be done. The last point that I would like to make, because I am conscious of my time, the last point is, we have been talking about interfaith harmony, and it is necessary to talk about it. It is necessary to understand religions. It is necessary to understand diversity. It is necessary to understand the difference between tolerance and acceptance. It is necessary to find out that if our basic philosophy was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, why there have been so much of aberrations in our own society, in the Indian society. Swami Ranganathananji wrote a foreword to a lecture of Nani Palkiwala in 1992 or so it was published. All these years I have been reading it and distributing it. In that preface, he has referred to one Abdul Razak who says, when we reached Calicut, we were in the nation of infidels, because anybody who has accepted Quran considers us the infidels. But we were given rousing reception, we were given all facilities, and he was surprised. So, Swami Ranganathananji has referred to Murray's book where it has been mentioned. If that person could observe that way, why have become, there are stories of intolerance in this country? Why have we not able to persuade that there is no concept like infidels now? Why are we not able to discuss someday that it is not only the question of interfaith harmony, it is a question of interfaith equality. Let us say from the rooftops, all religions are equal. No one will be saying that my religion is the only religion, those days are gone. Once you are able to do this and generate and germinate this in our children, India will change. India will change, the world will change. Otherwise, there is no way out. No, there is a writer by, I think, Bertrand Russell, this is the last sentence. He says, humanity will not survive if they depend only on knowledge. This is very interesting. Humanity will not survive if they depend only on knowledge. They will have to take recourse to wisdom. I was not able to comprehend what is the meaning. Then I was reading some science book one day, and I realized our very famous education Dr. Kothari used to tell us that never before human beings had so much of knowledge, never before we had so much of control over forces of nature, never before we had resources to help anybody anywhere on the earth if there is a calamity. But strangely enough, never before we had so much of distrust amongst people. We never had so much of bigotry. We never had so much of violence and wars. How this has happened? What went wrong? We never had so much of education as we have today. So I thought, how do I explain my lecture to any group? That knowledge alone is not sufficient, you need wisdom. Then an example came to my mind. In 1945, when the first atom bomb was experimented with in Los Alamos, the knowledge of science was at its peak. Knowledge was at its peak. And after a couple of days, it was dropped on Hiroshima. Knowledge was there. बुद्धि ज्ञान था, जानकारी थी, विवेक नहीं था. विवेक होता तो कभी भी एटम बम नहीं डाला जाता. शिक्षा को बुद्धि से, सूचना से, जानकारी से, ज्ञान से, बुद्धि से विवेक की ओर ले जाना है. और जब विवेक आ जाएगा तो स्वीकार्यता अपने आप आ जाएगी. एक्सेप्टेंस विल बी ऑल अराउंड, वैल्यूज विल बी ऑल अराउंड, humanity will survive. But yes, you have to move to Vivek, and this is what Swami Vivekananda has taught us. Let us read, reread, and continuously try to tell others and ourselves that yes, हम विवेक के मार्ग पर चलेंगे, तभी देश बचेगा, तभी हम बचेंगे, तभी विश्व बचेगा. आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Many sincere thanks to Professor J.S. Rajput for his address as the chairperson of this session. We'll now have a tea break and assemble within. Before the tea break, please be seated. The delegates who are getting up, please be seated just for a while. We'll have some important announcements from Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj. Also requesting the young delegates, the girl students from the colleges or school, kindly to maintain silence. Requesting the volunteers to kindly coordinate to help them to maintain silence. A few announcements from Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj.
Our train is running half an hour late. What we will do is that we are going to make our valedictory session very brief because the tea is getting cold. So what we are doing, we will have a tea break for 10 minutes and we will again come, and within 20 minutes we will conclude the session, valedictory session. And because all of you have been very good listeners, so we have decided to give gift packet to all of you. Gift packet. There are two types of packets, English packets and Gujarati packets. So there will be two, those who want Gujarati packets, they can go for Gujarati packets, and those who want English packets, they can go for English packets. But these packets will be given after the end of valedictory session, not now. And the valedictory session will be of 20 minutes, and it will not start before the tea break is over. And tea break is not break, it will be before that. We will have some announcement. Is that I talked to Bhadraben Shah, and we have found out a solution that a special concession will be given. Those who are attending this pre-parliament event, and those who want to go to Canada for the ultimate parliamentary religions, the real parliamentary religions from 1 to 7 November, they will be given special concession by the parliamentary religions. That is the trustee, Dr. Bhadraben Shah is telling. Now the process is like that. You will have to go online, and when you fill up the form, there will be a code. You have to give the code, promotion code, there will be a thing. In the promotion code, you have to write SHAH, Shah 2018. Then you will get the special concession. And also those who are interested in going to Parliament religions there in Toronto should give their names and their mobile numbers so that we can contact them. So please remember the promotion code SHAH 2018, but also give your name and also your mobile number, so that we can contact you if there is any further information regarding the parliament release that will be held. If you want to have any question for Bhadraben, then you can give that question there. We are not going to have feedback from the participant because of the delayed our session. What we will do, we have given feedback forms to all of you in your folder. Please deposit this feedback form before going. Fill up the feedback form and going. By chance, if you are not able to do now, you may send it later, but preferably please give the feedback form. Then we will be able to know about our future programs. Then at the same time, those people who want to have any particular question for Bhadraben, they can ask the question. And the earlier you come back, and also I would like to announce, Swami Vishwatmananji has come all the way from Varanasi. He is here with us. So he will be chairing the validity session. So please come back within 10 minutes and we will start 20 minutes validity session. Then at the time of going, you will be given the gift packets. Thank you very much.
The perfection, manifestation of the perfection already within man. Forward to a lecture of Nani Palkiwala in 1992 or so it was published. All these years I have been reading it and distributing it. In that preface, he has referred to Abdul Razak, who says, when we reached Calicut, we were in the nation of infidels. Because anybody
It was to the heart of traditional Hinduism that a skeptical young man travelled in search of answers. 18-year-old Narendranath Datta, on the advice of his college teacher, set out to meet the religious phenomenon of southern Bengal, Ramakrishna Paramahansa. It was December 1881, and it was an encounter that was to have the profoundest effect on the spiritual history of not merely an individual, but an entire people. Narendra had already rebelled against the inequities of traditional Hindu society and rejected some of the more popular forms of Hindu religious practice. But his religious questioning didn't end there. The quest for direct experience, for truth, continued. Although it was a short journey from his home in North Calcutta to the hustle and bustle of Dakshineshwar and the worship of the mother goddess Kali, Narendra was looking for a giant step that would bridge the rational and the spiritual, ease the painful tension between reason and faith. And it was this man that would eventually resolve that contradiction and change Narendro's life. The powerful force that was Ramakrishna. As Narendra sat down on the floor in front of him, Ramakrishna was struck by the young man's appearance. Speaking of it later, he said, "I noticed that he took no care of his body. His hair and his dress were not at all trim. He was, as it were, unattached to anything." Later I asked him to sing, and as if in meditation, he sang with the whole of his mind and his heart. When I heard it, I could not control myself. I was in ecstasy. Narendra was born on the 12th of January 1863 in a part of North Calcutta called Simulia. His father, Vishwanath Datta, was an attorney with a keen appreciation of Islamic culture and Indian classical music. He read the Bible and the Quran as well as the Bhagavad Gita every day. It was he who encouraged the young Naren to question every idea. His mother, Bhuvaneshwari, was more conservative in her Hindu beliefs, but it was she who drilled into her son that the truth must never be abandoned, whatever the circumstances. As a result, Narendra grew up to scorn all superstition. He went to school at the Metropolitan Institution in North Calcutta, where vigorous sports claimed as much of his time as music and reading. Narendra was an enthusiastic member of the local gymnasium and excelled at gymnastics, wrestling, fencing and lathi play. He displayed a striking independence of spirit, and according to his peers as well as his teachers, he was totally fearless. He finished school with distinction in 1879. The following year he joined Presidency College, but had to leave because of frequent bouts of malaria. Eventually, he transferred to Scottish Church College in central Calcutta, from where he graduated. The principal, Reverend William Hastie, considered Narendra a genius. In his entire teaching career, he said, he had never come across a lad of his talents, even in German universities, among students of philosophy. The verdict from his peers was no different. A fellow student who later became a renowned scholar and philosopher, Rajendranath Seal, described his friend Narendranath as a free and unconventional spirit, immensely popular and of unconcealed brilliance. He had a strange magnetism and an unmistakable sense of authority. But behind the confidence was an increasing questioning about the meaning of life and reality. Narendranath's relentless inquiry into Hinduism attracted him to the ideas of a more egalitarian order and of a God without form, preached by Brahmo leaders like Devendranath Tagore and Keshab Chandra Sen. His questioning was in fact intensified by his study of Western philosophers like John Stuart Mill, David Hume and Herbert Spencer, and resulted in what has been described as a settled philosophical skepticism. So it was in the hope of countering this skepticism that on his very first meeting with Ramakrishna, Narendra asked him, as he had asked so many others before him, "Have you seen God?" The others had evaded answering, but without a moment's hesitation, Ramakrishna replied, "Yes," he said, "I have seen God. I see him as I see you here, only more clearly." The unique interaction between spiritual master and his rational, questioning disciple was to last nearly 5 years. There were other gifted young men in the circle around the saint of Dakshineshwar, but he had no doubt that Narendra was special. And his spiritual training continued ceaselessly, first at Dakshineshwar and finally at Kashipur, where the last year of Ramakrishna's fatal illness was spent. Although he was irresistibly drawn to the simple man of God, Narendra would not take anything on trust, and neither did Ramakrishna want him to. He would say, "Test me as money lenders test their coins. You must not accept me until you've tested me thoroughly." Perhaps this was the training that led Narendra to tell his own disciples in later life, "Begin with disbelief." Eventually it was not just what Ramakrishna said, but what he was that finally led Narendra to accept him as his undisputed master. The master who was to show him that God exists in man and that the path to God can only end in that realization. On the face of it, there might seem to be a difference in Ramakrishna's devotion to Kali and Narendra's emphasis on the Vedantic unity between a personal God and an impersonal Godhead. But Ramakrishna explained, and his pupils soon saw, that there was no real difference between the two, that all paths to God were equally valid, whether they were dualistic, as in Ramakrishna's adoration and worship of Kali, or in the non-dualistic doctrine of Vedanta, in which the worshipper and the worshipped are one. Here then was how the seed was sown of the essence of Swami Vivekananda's later teachings, on the need not just to tolerate different religions, but to accept them as all being equally true. The Vedantic conviction that all beings and all that exists are part of God had also an important practical implication. The differences created by man must therefore be illusory. And if every man is God, what better way to serve God than to serve man? It was Ramakrishna who also told Narendra that religion is not for empty bellies, leaving him in no doubt as to how best he could serve God. Once when Narendra expressed a keen desire for a prolonged state of samadhi or spiritual bliss, the master told him, "Shame on you, I thought you'd be like a banyan tree, and thousands of people would rest in your shade. But now I see you are seeking your own liberation." And in this way, Ramakrishna's spiritual heir was taught all that he needed to know. But his period of training was soon to end. The discovery that their master was terminally ill drew the group of young men around him closer still, each of them taking turns to nurse and take care of him at their garden house in Kashipur. And to the end, Ramakrishna never lost his belief that it would be his Naren who would best carry his message to the world outside. As the end neared, critically ill and unable to speak, the master wrote on a piece of paper, "Narendra will teach others." After Ramakrishna's death, the first crucial decision that Narendra and his brother disciples took was to renounce worldly life. Their master had gone from their midst, and they had nothing except their shared experiences and their faith in him. But it was enough. They all knew that their lives were committed. They would not forsake their ideals now. And so it was that the Ramakrishna monastic order was born. The Baranagar Mott remained the base of Ramakrishna's disciples, but they would from time to time leave it as wandering monks. Narendra did this too, but each time he would return, drawn by his responsibilities there. Nevertheless, India's holy places had a special attraction for the young monk. Even before Ramakrishna's death, Narendra had visited Bodh Gaya and for long hours had meditated under the sacred peepal tree. He was profoundly moved by Buddha's renunciation and compassion, which he believed to be central to all true religion. He described him as the one and only absolutely sane man in human history, wondrous in compassion, perfect in reason. He took patriotic pride in the fact that Buddhism was the only religion which had proselytized without bloodshed. He regarded Buddha as the greatest of men because, above all, he never claimed worship. Varanasi too drew him more than once. It was not merely the center of India's religious life, it was the seat of Shiva, the god of renunciation.
Chidanand Rupaha Shivo Aham Shivo Aham.
Those images, which were to stay with him throughout his life, fueled his belief that religion was at the center of India's life, sustaining her cultural unity. While the tradition was predominantly Hindu, he had also noted how Islamic art and culture had become a part of the nation's rich heritage.
Chidanand Rupaha Shivo Aham Shivo Aham.
These relatively short journeys whetted Narendra's appetite for more. He had already begun to reject all distinctions of religion and caste. He also saw that despite a glorious past, most of Indian life was sunk in abject poverty, ignorance and superstition. It was clear that this was the challenge before him, but it was equally clear that he must first know more of the country and its problems.
के कंठ से एक भजन का।
वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, पीर पराई जाने रे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, पीर पराई जाने रे, पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए, पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए, मन अभिमान नाने रे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे। सकल लोक सहुने वंदे, निंदा न करे के निरे, बाच काच मन निश्चल राखे, बाच काच मन निश्चल राखे, धन धन जननी तेनी रे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे। समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी, पर स्त्री जेने मात रे, जीवा थकी असत्य न बोले, जीवा थकी असत्य न बोले, पर धन न बझाले हाथ रे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे। मोह माया व्यपेन ही जेने, द्रूर वैराग्य जेना मन मारे, राम नाम शु तारिने लागी, राम नाम शु तारिने लागी,
सकल तीरथ तेना मन मारे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए बनलो भीने कपट रहित छे काम क्रोध निवार्या रे भने नर सयो तेनु दर्शन करे था भने नर सयो तेनु दर्शन करे था कुलो एको तीर तार्या रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए।
इस सुंदर भजन के बाद श्रीमद स्वामी निखिलेश्वर जी महाराज से मैं अनुरोध करता हूँ कि वह शाब्दिक स्वागत करें।
We are very fortunate that in the validity session we have Swami Vishwatmanaji Maharaj to chair the session. He is the Adhyaksha of Ramakrishna Advaita Ashrama Varanasi at present, but his monastic life started at Rajkot. So that is why for us it is a great thing that our Swamiji has come to our program and is chairing the validity session. We are very happy, and Maharaj has been, for many years he was in the tribal belt, he has served the tribals very much, and he has been giving lectures in various places, and at present he is in the head of our Varanasi center of Ramakrishna Advaita Ashrama. But we always try to find out some occasions to invite him, and he is so kind that always he obliges. And this time he has come not for this, he has come, this is our extra benefit that we are getting, because in Mandvi there is going to be a temple dedication of Sri Ramakrishna temple, and also on 30th there is going to be inauguration of Swami Atmasthananji Memorial Bhavan. So these two are great occasions. So we thought that because he was here in Rajkot for many years, so we called him, and then it is good that he is here, so we have been able to get him as the chairperson of this session. So I offer my humble pranams at the feet of Swami Vishwatmanaji Maharaj and welcome him on behalf of all of you. I also welcome Dr. Bhadraben Shah, who has come all the way from America. As you know, you listened to her talk in the inaugural session, as well as she explained about various details about the Parliament Religions of 2018 that is going to be held at Toronto from 1st to 7th November. So I also extend a warm welcome once again to Dr. Bhadraben Shah. Thank you.
अब आज के इस सत्र के चेयरपर्सन श्रीमद स्वामी विश्वात्मानंद जी महाराज को पुष्पगुच्छ देंगे स्वामी वेदनिष्ठानंद जी महाराज, एवं मेमेंटो से उनका स्वागत करेंगे पूज्य स्वामी निखिलेश्वरन जी महाराज। और डॉक्टर भद्राबेन शाह का भी मेमेंटो देकर स्वागत करेंगे पूज्य स्वामी निखिलेश्वरन जी महाराज। अब डॉक्टर भद्राबेन शाह कुछ बातें कहना चाहती हैं, तो मैं उनसे अनुरोध करता हूं कि वो यहाँ आकर अपनी बात कहें।
Param Pujya Swamiji is telling me that he wants to know how this Parliament of World Religion was born. And Swamiji is telling me to give some more information, and that there were so many people who have some question. I'll try to run fast and do the best I can. As I said, Swamiji, I think before, that Christopher Columbus found America. He discovered America. And after 400 years, Columbian Disposition was held in Chicago. At that time, some religious leaders and some philosophical leaders, they met from different religions, and they thought that there are some common issues, some global issues, and if all of us can sit together and find some solution, we discuss, we learn from each other, and then find some solution. That is the way the Parliament of World Religion was started. How I got interested, Swamiji? I got interested directly because of Swami Vivekananda. Because if anybody says that Swami's message will go to maybe 2 more people, I'll go for it. So what happened was, once there was a puppet show. Dhruv Maharaj from Delhi came from Delhi for the puppet show, and I had arranged about 20 puppet show in various parts of the world. I mean, New York, New Jersey area. Then one place, they were late. It was not possible to start on time. So somebody suggested, whether when you say something about Swami Vivekananda. So I said something about Vivekananda. And I don't know what I said. I may not remember exactly, but Tathya was that I want to see God. I do not want to seek God. And I'm a physician, I'm a gynecologist. For me, it is very easy to see God in my patients. And when I see God in my patients also feels that I feel more satisfied, and patients gets better much faster. So that was seeing God in my patients. And then at that time, I was a president of Share and Care Foundation, where we do a lot of charitable work. And because of that charitable work, I used to meet many times Swami Atmasthananji and Swami Gopalananji, and in other centers. We used to do some milk powder project and a lot of other things. So what happened was, I got more and more attached to Thakur and Mai, yes, but Thakur and Mai is in my heart, and Swami gives me the direction what to do when I am in trouble. If I have a faith in Thakur, somehow he sends, and when I have, because I am not a speaker, I am not Dharmaguru, હું કાંઈ જ નથી. પણ તે દિવસે જે કંઈક મેં કહ્યું કે I can see God in my patients, and I can see God in Daridra Narayan. So seeing God in Dardi Narayan and Daridra Narayan, something of this sort, that person, he was a trustee of Parliament of World Religion. So he thought, Bhadraben is so convinced that there is God, and that he comes and helps, and that she can see the God in Dardi Narayan, Daridra Narayan. So I think she will do some good. I said, when he told me first time, I said, you must be kidding. Because, you know, the big professors of religion and all something related to religion. And there was no Hindu person there. So I said, no, I better remain as a gynecologist, which I can do better because I'm doing it for years. This is not my dharma. This is not what I can do. But because he said, Swami Vivekananda, and he thought I'm convinced, and that is the reason why I say no for 6 months, and then finally I agreed. So January of 2017, I became the trustee of Parliament. And Thakur always used to say, once you say yes, you do your best. So I am not a speaker, I am not a Dharma Guru, but I do whatever little I can do and feel good about it. So that is what the answer to Swamiji. Now, coming to Canada for this program in November 1 to 7, a lot of people have a lot of questions, and you have to fill up the form online. That is only the registration form. And Parliament of World Religion is responsible only to arrange the registration. We can give you the letter that you are registered, and that may help you in getting visa. But believe it or not, for 10,000 or 12,000 people, none of us will have any time to help you in getting visa. Also, the expenses, the registration at this time is $495. You can get, if you write my name, SHAH2018, in a promotion code, you can get $100 deduction in the registration. And then suppose 10 of you get together and come, then you will get further discount. Okay? So out of 800, you can make friends and make a group of 10, then it will be much easier. And the third idea just came sitting there, that there are many travel agencies, you know. So why to come only for this? If you are spending money, go around, see the Canada and New York, and just part of it, make it around November 1 to 7, you can go around and attend this meeting so that your expenses, going, coming, staying, all that become worth it. And there are some hotels which may be much cheaper. The hotels that we have contracted with, because the people who come from UK or United States, or they are used to get very comfortable hotels. You may not need that, you know, but those hotels are quite expensive, around maybe $150 a day. But if you can share, and you can find a hotel, or there are people, they in their own home, they can just give you one room, and all you need is stay there, you know, overnight. Otherwise, during the day, you will be there in our, and you will get some promotions for seeing that sightseeing also. So, because there is a lot of things to see in Canada also. So, that is that. And booth, I was really thinking that if there is another organization who wants to display something of their work, not just a religious organization, it can be any NGO doing some work, and if you want to do that, the booth also, because you are here and because I can say something, we can get the booth, and per booth, you can get 2 registration free, totally free. So if anybody is interested, if you can write down, it's very simple, dr.bhadrashah@gmail.com. dr.bhadrashah@gmail.com, but dr. If you have real question, otherwise most of the things you can get it on website for Parliament of theworldsreligions.org. If you have any real question and if you are really interested, yes, I can help you. Now, I think I said everything. Anybody else have any question? Or Swamiji, you have any question? Good. Okay. Thank you, Swamiji.
अब मैं इस सत्र के अध्यक्ष श्रीमद स्वामी विश्वात्मानंद जी महाराज से अनुरोध करूंगा कि वे हम सबको मार्गदर्शन दें।
नमः श्री अतिराजाय विवेकानंद सूरये सच्चित् सुख स्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। प्रिय स्वामी निखिलात्मानंद महाराज, डॉक्टर भद्रा बहन शाह, my dear monastic brothers અને પ્યારા ભાઈઓ અને બહેનો, when I was coming for this valedictory session, Swami Nikhilatmananda and a few journalists were discussing about the meeting. One journalist said, the audience like this is very rare. The audience is very receptive and calm. Then I said, our audience is civilized. Because this is the first requirement of the subject which is given here. Interfaith harmony for global civilization. Now interfaith harmony comes when you are ready to hear others' view, and you are all ready and eager to know and understand others' view. This is the basic requirement of a global civilization. Be receptive and open to others' idea. Now, this valedictory session, and I am not going to give any speech on this. This is just observation for me. Whole day we heard so many speakers, highly learned, beautiful speeches, and we get surprised, as I was surprised, you also perhaps were surprised, that harmony is there in every religion. Mr. Sam Sami Bubere, he introduced himself something Khan, putting cap on his head. And the idea he quoted from Quran, which were equivalent to our Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It is really surprising. Same we find in the speech of Father, where he also quoted the love for neighbor, love your neighbor as thyself, etc., etc. If these ideas are preached by the leaders of religion, there should not be any conflict. These are the essential ideas, but this is not taken. When in Afghanistan they were shooting the Buddha statue, they were very innocent. For this is our religion has said in Quran, it is written to break the idols. So both the type of ideas are there in all, perhaps mainly this world religions were full of love and sympathy and acceptance of others are there. But at the same time, there are some seeds which have grown into hatred and intolerance and violation and terrorism, which is worried. And our media person who was giving many ideas, he said, quoted Einstein, that I can say surely about Fourth World War. I cannot say when Third World War will happen, but I am sure about Fourth World War. How? Because there will be no Fourth World War. In Third World War itself, everything will be destroyed. This is really very worrisome. Human society developed from a primitive individual who were hunting and running in the forest. And nucleus took in family, it expanded in clan, then further expanded in society, then further expanded in country, and now in the course of history, time has come that humanity should expand in civilization because technology has made it easy. Knowledge has become so easily available, now narrow-minded religious idea is outdated. So Vivekananda's idea of harmony of religion and Ramakrishna's life of harmony religion is the need of hour. Whole Ramakrishna mission and message of Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda is the message of harmony. And this message is the need of the age. The global civilization, the prosperous civilization, the harmonious and friendly and family-like civilization yet to come, but we have to strive. And what you have shown here, the receptivity, that is the basic requirement. Unfortunately, I should mention the name also, the Hindus are very receptive of tolerance and acceptance of harmony of religious ideas. But this message is required to go to other religious group also. Swami Nikhilatmananda Maharaj has very nicely organized that this message is going to internet also. And if it is propagated properly, that the whole process is there in internet and people hear, then also message can go. The message of harmony, Hindu require rest. It is there in our blood. Message of harmony is required for the rest of other than Hindu groups. There are some groups, say Sikh, you need not require. They are harmonious. Jaina, the lady, this Jaina Sadhvi said, Syadvad. Syadvad is the basic of harmony of religions. Same thing may have different facets. So harmony is possible. But other religious group has to learn from Hinduism and especially from Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, because here harmony is taught not as an ideology. It was practiced in the life laboratory of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and it was demonstrated that all paths lead to the same goal. So this is the purpose, to create the harmony and not unity. You see, somebody used these two words are very important. A gulab should not become a kamal should not become a jui or magnolia. Each should have its own flavor and size and shape. And along with all this, we can have a very good flower vase or garden of humanity where all stay together. The harmony of religion is the need of hour. To have a global civilization, only religion is not the factor. As it was discussed here, and Swami Nikhilatmananda Maharaj properly included media and education. Both are equally powerful. Children's brains should be programmed to have the real understanding of religion. And this programming of children's brain is in teacher's hand and in syllabus. Now it is in governments and education is hand to program this in such a way that we can program the brain of students to become harmonious, receptive to all the different and conflicting ideas. Religion is one, education is second, media is third. Media is very, very powerful. Media is making your mind. If, as Hitler used to say, if you repeat a lie 1,000 times, people will believe that it is truth. And media is repeating lie thousands of times, and we all believe and made fool. So we should be very careful to accept anything, any idea from media. Better to not to see the media. Third is politics, which is very difficult. So for global civilization, there are many faculties. Religious faculty, education faculty, media faculty, politics faculty, world commerce, economy faculty, and so many faculties are there. But religion is the most powerful because religion rules your heart. So if we try to see as in the beginning, तुझसे मैं हमने दिल को लगाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. What is the secret of harmony of religion and brotherhood of humanity is to see God in everybody's heart. If we try to see by understanding that in everybody's heart God is there, then there will be no hatred, there will be no misunderstanding, there will be no fighting, and brotherhood and harmony will come. So this is all about my observation. The peace and harmony and love is there in everybody's religion, but what is practiced is violence and hatred. We have to replace this violence and hatred by understanding and love. Now one question Swami Nikhilatmananda Maharaj has given, somebody has written. Question is, all religions preach peace and harmony. But why is that violence and terrorism are on rise? Does it mean that the religious leaders do not have enough control over their followers? Does it also mean that the religious leaders speak in open something and do something else behind the curtain? How do we percolate the wisdom of religion in the level of masses? In the level of masses, Adan Pradan is the most important, which is done here. As you are receptive and this harmonious idea are going to you, the same is required for the societies of other religions also. Muslims, Christians, Buddhas, Jainas. Does anybody anytime organize this type of meeting? This is required. We always organize this type of mission because this mission is harmonious mission. But this harmonious missions is the ideal, and others should learn, and they should also organize the meeting like this and propagate the harmony of religion. In world religion of parliament they are organizing, and perhaps some result from there may come. Now, does it mean that religious leaders do not have enough control over their followers? religious leaders can have control over their followers, but religious leaders are themselves convinced by the violent ideas of their scriptures. And they are brainwashing children, and small children go and blast themselves. Total brainwashing. So if religious leaders have the right understanding of their religion, and if they teach their followers the harmony of religion, there will not be violence and terrorism in the world. Followers need not be blamed. Muslims and Hindus and Christians, we in India before independence, long back, we were all brothers and sisters, we never knew. But when politics come and the religious leaders enter, and hatred and everything came. So religious leaders have power, but they do not exercise control over their affairs. Does it also mean that the religious leaders speak in open something and something else behind the curtain? At least we Ramakrishna Mission and perhaps most of the Hindu leaders speak of harmony. But you find out other leaders, how many are there who are speaking of harmony? Few Hindu leaders do speak about sectarianism and violence, very few, negligent. But the majority, heart of Indian religion is ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. From the very beginning of history, we have accepted people here and made them our own. You heard this thing today. So in our harmony is in our blood, acceptance in our blood, but others should learn. So if they do that, then there will be harmony, and this is the purpose of this type of meeting. Let us start from our home. 100 years we are struggling and teaching our own people. At least our own peoples are not violent. Our own peoples are receptive. Let from our own people, other group of religious also learn that this also is possible. And when this comes, the global civilization will become easy. And if the people of other religion and some people of our religions also do not understand, then what Einstein said, that if Third World War happens, there will be no Fourth World War, because there will not be any human being on this earth. Thank you.
अब पूज्य स्वामी निखिलेश्वरानंद जी महाराज से मैं अनुरोध करूंगा कि वह आभार दर्शन करें.
We are extremely grateful to Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj for his chairperson's address and very nice analysis, and also the reply of the questions in a befitting manner. We are very much thankful to Dr. Bhadraben Shah once again for coming all the way from America. She was asking me whether it is really necessary, because there is a lot of work to do as a trustee there. I said, if you will be the star attraction here, because when you come from America, then only it becomes a global civilization and it becomes an international seminar. So I am very happy that she could make it. I am thankful to her. We are thankful to the other speakers, Dr. Jayesh Shah, Professor Rajkot, and all those who are not present, who might have gone. But to all the speakers, we offer our thanks. We are grateful to Revered Swami Gautamanandaji Maharaj once again for taking so much of trouble at our request and remaining present here and giving us instinct interfaith harmony.